Hey, it's Annie. Just over a year ago when Larry and I started iRacing, we knew we wanted to do some endurance racing. However, with two small children, we knew it was going to be a wee while before we would be able to do that as a couple. But then iRacing released the LMP2.
Yeah.
Larry took it out for a couple of laps and then he said I should try it, and then we decided let's do Petit Le Mans. Now, for some obscure reason, the team voted for me to start the race.
Okay, Annie, stay calm, focus.
Two of the snail racing community members, Flappy and Dennis, knew and understood our family situation and our schedule, and they agreed to join our team, and they helped us out tremendously. 6K Pete was our team manager, and he was absolutely fantastic. He worked out everything for us. All we had to do was get in the rig and get behind the wheel and turn laps to get to know the car, to get those lap times as fast as possible that we could for our abilities, especially my ability. You all know I'm the main snail on the track. Shit. Fruitcake!
Right side. Clear right side. Car on your right. Right is clear. Right side is clear now. Clear right.
Okay. Not in the pits. We're not in the pits. Like most of you who decided to do the endurance race in the LMP2, we only had a few weeks to prepare for the endurance race. So in week one, we got together as a team and we got to know the car, and we sorted out a setup that suited all four of us, which we all were comfortable with.
Would you mind telling me your tire wear?
In week two, we started hosting open practice sessions so that we can get used to having the GT cars around us and traffic. And man, were those practice sessions really busy. Flappy and Dennis were absolutely fantastic. I mean, both of them put in over 1,000 laps each in preparation for the endurance race. Larry and I, on the other hand, didn't do as many, but we did manage to do a few hundred. I'm coming at the end of my stint.
Behind, just increase it. It's now 11 seconds.
Not pitting now, pitting next lap, I think, yeah?
Yep, next lap. Sorry about that, Todd.
Because I knew how much time Dennis and Flappy and Larry has put in to prepare for this endurance race, starting the race put so much pressure on me because I didn't want to mess it up at the beginning of the race. So I was absolutely terrified. I mean, nervous is not even a word. Yeah, I was terrified. I didn't qualify to the best of my ability purely because I just wanted to get a quali in. Well, Flappy, you ready?
Yep, I'm good to go.
So we qualified P36. The first few laps went absolutely fantastic. I slowly but surely got into a rhythm. I got my nerves calmed down. I wasn't petrified anymore and terrified anymore. And this is where I have to thank Andrew Hopley from H Motorsport. At the end of last year in 2019, I joined Andy's team for some endurance racing in the TCR. Andy taught me some valuable things to remember for endurance race, especially if it's your first endurance race and your first endurance race as a team. Right. Pitting, boxing, whatever. Don't worry about lap times. Don't even look at your lap times. The most important thing, if it's your very first endurance race, is keep the car on the road. Bring it home.
That was an excellent second stint. We'll need to stop again.
Exactly hit your target pace to the exact 10-second window based on what was projected. Well done.
Next up, Flappy took over from myself, and he did absolutely fantastic. I mean, during the whole race, he did over 112 laps with 4X. Flappy did a phenomenal job. I mean, his lap times were up there with the rest of the guys. Dennis took over from Flappy, and Dennis did the best lap out of all of us. His best lap times were fantastic and he had a brilliant stint. However, there was a bit of an incident that unfortunately saw Dennis back in the pits for a 10-minute repair. But luckily again the car was drivable. Now it was Larry's turn. Larry took over from Dennis and he had a fantastic stint. And one of his dreams finally came true, and that was to do an endurance race with me and some of the team members. Now, Larry also got the very last stint at night time, and this was absolutely nerve-wracking. I couldn't watch the last 20 minutes of the race. I was literally sitting like this, not being able to watch, because I was so nervous that something would happen for him, not for me, for Larry. I didn't want one of the guys to mess up his race, because at the very last minute, people started swaying PPs about, and things got very interesting on comms. And people, but understandably, after a 10-hour race, all you want to do is finish the race, especially the guys at the front. I mean, you are now competing for podiums and top 5s and top 10s. So things got a bit heated at some times, which was actually really understandable after 10 hours and all the effort that goes into an endurance race like this. So I was absolutely nervous to watch Larry race. I just couldn't do it. But, and this is where Pete came in. Pete was an absolute pillar to lean against. He kept Larry calm. He talked him through every aspect that he needed to do: fuel saving, tire saving, everything that Larry needed to do to bring the car home. And Larry did a fantastic job. He saved fuel and he brought the car home P16. I have to thank 6K Pete, or Sassy as most of you know him, for being an absolute fantastic team manager. You helped us so much, not only as a team manager. If it wasn't for your help, Pete, I don't think the 4 of us would have been able to handle the LMP2. So thank you, Pete. This was an absolutely amazing experience. A 10-hour endurance race with Larry. I thought would never happen well, we knew it would happen, we just didn't think it would happen so soon with the kids. It's something I can definitely recommend. However, preparing for an endurance race is so important. This one was at such short notice. I know people prepare for weeks, even months before an endurance race. So the fact that we only had a couple of weeks to prepare for this makes it so much more special that the 4 of us and Pete, with the help of Andrew Hopley, it's a phenomenal thing for the 4 of us, and I'm so proud of Flappy and Dennis and Larry. It was a fantastic race and I'm looking forward to the next one. However, I think a 24-hour one is definitely a wee while away. Because all of us put so much effort, well, especially Flappy and Dennis, put so much effort into preparing for this race, there was the unknown or unspoken pressure not to mess up your first stint. I definitely felt it. I didn't want to mess up my first stint for the rest of the teammates because of all the effort they put in and not being able to race then because I was doing the first stint. But then again, Larry felt the same. Although he didn't do the first stint, his first stint was just as nerve-wracking for him because he didn't want to mess it up for the rest of the guys to do the second stint. I know each one of us was so nervous because none of us wanted to let down the other team members. So when the first turns came for each one of us, you just want to keep the car on the road. That's all you want to do. You don't want to battle for position at this stage, you know. Hopefully, as we manage to do more endurance racing, hopefully we'll be able to compete for, you know, a top 10, a top 5, and maybe a podium someday. But at this stage, it was just absolutely phenomenal for all of us to be able to just get through those first turns. And it's quite funny because once you're through that first stint, the second stint is so much easier because that pressure of not messing up in the first stint is gone. So the pressure not to let your teammates down, I don't know, I can't explain it, but it was just absolutely the understanding of the team with regards to family life, the kids, the pressure. I mean, no one put pressure on anybody. There was a total understanding. If things happen, they happen. That's it. We gave it our best. But still, in the back of your mind is you don't want to mess up for the rest of the team. Remember to subscribe. Remember to follow us on Twitch. We'll see you in the next video. Happy racing.